Welcome to the Dance Studio Empire podcast, a mix of business strategies, simple tips for studio growth and success, with a touch of inspiration, motivation, plus raw and honest conversations to ensure you are building your studio empire. I'm your host, Jen Dalton, studio owner for 30 years, dance business coach, and the author of the book, Teaching Dance Beyond the Steps. My business philosophy is creativity is our superpower, and I believe we all have the means and ability to infiltrate this into our studio. Just sometimes we can get too busy, distracted, or overwhelmed to see that. So that is exactly why I am here to help you. So if you are ready to master the art of creating demand, unravel the dance of numbers in your studio, and run your business to its full potential, then you are in the right place. Okay, let's do this. Sit back and relax, and let's get ready to build your dance studio empire. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Dance Studio Empire podcast. I am Jen Dalton. I am your host, and today I am going to be speaking about the 5 things that I focused on to build my $1 million dance studio. So whatever your studio dreams and goals are, it doesn't have to be $1 million. It could be to build a boutique studio. It could be to run studios remotely. We all have different dreams and different goals. However, these 5 things you can use to achieve what it is you want to achieve in your studio. So if you have the opportunity to take some notes, I would. If not, maybe re-listen and take these points, and then you can make them your own to build your own dance studio empire. All right, let's get started. So the first thing that I focused on to build my $1 million dance studio was the vision. Now, every great venture begins with a vision, and I started with a clear vision of what I wanted my studio to become. Even though I was young and the vision has evolved over time, it's still the same. Like our values are still the same and our mission is still the same. And it was to make it a competitive-free environment where every child gets an opportunity, and we work on building the whole child. So it was never just about teaching dance for me. It was about building our future adults. And as I just said, it's still actually the same values that we hold today. So in the world of dance studio ownership, having a vision is like having a GPS map to lead you to your destination. And when I started on my journey of building my $1 million dance studio, I knew that I needed more than just the passion and the talent and the want to share my love of dance with others. I needed a vision that I could then use to shape every decision that I made moving forward. And my vision was multifaceted. So firstly, I envisioned a space where dancers of all ages and skill levels could come to refine their craft, be inspired, and reach their full potential. There was a commitment to excellence, but I wasn't just about producing technically proficient dancers. It was about nurturing creativity, passion, and that deep love for dance for all the children that ever entered my studio. But that vision also extended beyond just in the studio walls. I wanted my studio to be a vibrant community, so a place where the dancers who came felt like they belonged, they met new friends. I wanted them to have their own group of dance friends. So outside of school, I wanted this to be a place where they felt safe to come. And I wanted also for our parents to feel like they were in a supportive environment as well, and where everyone shared in the joy of dance. To me, community was the glue that held my studio together, and I knew that fostering a sense of belonging would be a really important part of our success. And of course, part of that vision is the financial success. It is just a crucial part of it. I aim to build a $1 million dance studio, not only to provide a sustainable income for myself and my family, but also to reinvest in the studio's growth and the development of our programs. And financial success, although it can sometimes feel like a dirty word, it really isn't, because it meant stability and the ability to offer more to my students and to my community. The vision becomes the guide that helps with every decision that I made. So from the locations that I chose for the studios, when I expanded and was offering classes in lots of different areas, to the teachers that I hired, the staff members that I put on, and then to the marketing strategies that we implemented. So remember that the vision, your vision, is the foundation upon which you build your studio's identity, culture, and success. And the reality is, it's what sets you apart in a crowded market and keeps you focused on the path to achieving your dreams. And I talk about trying to stay in your own lane for, to the best of your ability. Try and not worry about what other people are doing. Just focus on yourself, focus on your families, and you will win in the end. Okay, that is the first one, vision. Now, the second one is strategic planning. Okay, building $1 million dance studio isn't solely about following your passion. It requires a well thought out strategic plan. Now, let me tell you how I did it and how this looked for me at the time, because it really did play a pivotal role in transforming our studio into a thriving empire. First thing was the branding and the marketing. So our strategic planning began with branding and marketing, and it was essentially setting the stage for our studio's identity and growth. I recognized the importance of intentional marketing and creating content that resonated with our target audience. And look, I know it's so noisy out there at the moment. That's why you need to be really clear on who you are and what you offer, so that you can just keep being intentional with reaching new people. Our marketing campaigns, they were designed to engage and educate our community, which is still what we're trying to be doing, but I just know it is. I know and I understand that it is harder. I also just worked out how much I needed to invest in marketing, that was just a lesson that I learned over time. So working that out played a big part as well. The second thing in strategic planning is attracting the perfect families. So attracting those right families was central to our strategy. I, over the years, developed resources and had scripts to effectively communicate our studio's point of difference and addressing all of those potential objections that come sometimes when people come to join your studio. Our goal was not just to fill the class, but to attract the families who embraced our studio culture and vision. And I believe we do this really well. Still to this day, I believe we do this well. And this intentional approach extended to trials and then sign-ups to ensure that families entering our studio were well informed and enthusiastic about joining our dance community. Okay, the third part of strategic planning is my favorite, retention and continuous innovation. Now, I understood that retaining existing students was crucial, just as crucial as attracting new ones. And I continuously innovated our offerings and focused heavily on the classroom experience, because that's where the magic happens. The re-enrollment process that I created many years ago now was meticulously planned, definitely refined over the years, but another big focus that I did was focusing on the convenience for our parents, and I think that played a big part as well. Okay, the third part of the strategic planning is our onboarding. Okay, a key element of strategic planning is definitely the onboarding process. And now this is for your families, this is for your teachers, this is for anyone who is attempting to come into your studio. Having an onboarding process is priceless. Now, we carefully mapped out touch points with new students and their families, created this red carpet experience that then left a lasting impression. And it worked. It still does work. As you continue to build or elevate your dance studio, remember that strategic planning isn't just a one-time event. It's an ongoing, continuous process that positions your studio for continuous growth and success. So it's absolutely worth putting in the time. Okay, number 3. So I'll quickly recap. We had number 1, the first thing that I focused on was vision. Number 2 was strategic planning. Number 3 is team building and leadership. Team building and effective leadership are part of the foundations of $1 million dance studio. It's not just about my own passion and expertise. It's about the collective effort of a dedicated team. So let me tell you about my approach to team building, leadership, and the studio culture that played a pivotal role in fostering growth and excellence. Okay, first thing, from the beginning, I understood at a certain point, I couldn't do it alone. In the beginning, I absolutely did. And I've spoken about this before, doing every bit of your business that you can so you can learn, so you can tweak, so you can then grow it and then start handing it on and handing it over to others to continue. But at a certain point, I just couldn't do it alone. I started expanding locations and running several studios at one time, so I physically couldn't be in 2 places at once. But building the $1 million dance studio required a team of passionate, skilled individuals who also shared my vision. And I made it a priority to empower my staff, giving them ownership of the roles and responsibilities. I'm very good at not micromanaging. It was hard in the beginning, I have to be honest. And I also want to say that finding the right people didn't always happen as well. So that did take practice, and there were times when I did get it wrong, but I did continue to learn from that and have really refined my processes when it comes to hiring people now. But it did take time. It wasn't just magic that first time. So going back, the empowerment wasn't just about delegation for the teachers. It was about creating an environment where every team member felt valued and capable of contributing to the studio's success. I feel like if they can take a little bit of ownership, they care a bit more, they love it a bit more, and that responsibility actually falls on us as the leaders. So as the studio owners, that then falls on us to give them that responsibility and not always be looking over their shoulder. As I said before, I know how hard that is. I do appreciate that, but you will get there. Okay, the second thing in team building and leadership is clear communication. So effective leadership, it really hinges on clear communication. I established really open lines of communication with my team, and I encourage feedback, I encourage ideas, and I foster collaboration. We would do regular meetings. I do both one-on-one and as a group, and it's allowed us to align our efforts with our shared vision and address any challenges or opportunities that arose. And I found with doing it this way, any spot fires that came up, I was able to put them out straight away, so they never evolved into anything big. If there were small issues, I could bring them up before they became big issues. And that was a valuable lesson that I learned early on. It's something I would encourage you to do as well. Okay, the third point is training and development for your teachers. Investing in the training and development of your team members, for me, was non-negotiable. And at the time when I started to do this, there was actually nothing out on the market. I was trying to Google different trainings for dance teachers. There wasn't, which is when I actually built my own. I wrote my own training program for teachers, which is still available if anyone wants it. I think it's excellent. But yeah, and that's basically how all this started with me, now helping out other studio owners and coaching studio owners. It started from this because I was looking for the information and I couldn't find it. And I figured if I was looking for it, there would be other studio owners who would be looking for it. Anyway, so we provided just this ongoing development opportunity for our teachers. So ensuring that they're equipped with the latest teachings, techniques, industry trends. This commitment to growth not only elevated the quality of our classes, but it also boosted the morale and the retention of our teachers, which is a big thing. And you know how hard it is to find good teachers. So when you get them, you want to keep them. And so that's why I really implemented a lot of strategies to keep them keep morale high, keep them there for as long as was healthy for the business. Okay, and the fourth one is leading by example. So as a studio owner and the leader of the studio, I knew the importance of leading by example. I embodied the value and the work ethic that I expect from my team. Now, this leadership by example sets the tone then for the studio culture and inspired our staff to strive for excellence. Now, they still see me cleaning toilets. If the bathrooms need cleaning, I will get in there and clean. I will vacuum. As I'm sure you do as well, but I think it's really good for them to see that that's what you do. I'm also a really good assistant. So if for some reason teachers, running a class and there's an upset child or something's happening that, is taking the attention of the teacher, I can step into a classroom and be a very, very good assistant. And I think that, a good leader can be a good assistant. And sometimes those who are senior teachers who can't be an assistant, they should probably check in with themselves maybe. Okay, it really is a team effort. Effective team building, leadership, and nurturing a studio culture are the keys to success. So as you continue on your journey or seek to elevate your studio, remember that empowering your team to share in your vision will not only drive growth, but also create a studio that thrives. That's the goal, right? I wanted to interrupt this episode just for a moment to let you know something really exciting. In October of this year, I am launching my brand new program, Studio Balance. This program is for dance studio owners who want and need the processes and the simplest approach to setting your studio up for real growth. Studio Balance helps you identify, strategize, and implement every detail of studio setup, from systems and marketing to financial mastery and team leadership. I'm letting you know this now because I know many of you are starting to plan for the new year and how useful having this information will be. And with results like increasing enrollment numbers by 65% and adding revenue of $30,000, this is a program you do not want to miss out on. Right now, I'll be offering a bonus one-on-one implementation session for anyone who joins the waitlist and purchases Studio Balance. So if you want access to that, make sure you sign up to the waitlist. I'll leave the link in the show notes or simply send me a DM on Instagram and I'll forward you the link. Okay, the fourth thing that I focused on when building my $1 million dance studio was the experience. And this was for both the dancers and for the parents. So obviously the dance in the classroom and parents whenever they would make contact with the studio or receive communication. Now, the first thing I've focused on, which is still so pivotal to me, is exceptional customer service. So to me, it is pivotal in how successful a studio is, because if you are connecting with the parents are the ones who pay, you're connecting with them, you're making them feel comfortable, you're making the space feel safe for them to leave their children, then that's the hard work done. I understood that satisfied students and parents were our best advocates. They will fight for us. They will keep recommending us. From the front of house to returning emails or phone calls really fast. It just creates that really positive first impression and building trust. If ever I'm at the front desk or concierging around the waiting area, I will make eye contact with every single person that walks into the studio. I will say hi, even if I don't know them. And there are a lot of families that I don't know, but I will make eye contact. I will say hello. I will smile, even if that's it. And, I can tell usually that they don't want to continue conversation. That is absolutely fine. I just want them to know that they are coming into a welcoming environment. And then if it's not me, my staff are trained to do that. So even the teachers, they are trained to come out. If they're collecting kids from the waiting room, they are told to come out, make eye contact, smile, use nonverbal communication skills if they need to, but it is super, super important. Okay, and then moving then into the classroom experience. For me, it is more than just about the steps being taught. It always has been. In fact, I wrote a book about it, Teaching Dance Beyond the Steps. If you want to check that out, that is available. The classes were always planned and they were programmed, very, very structured for me, because I was ensuring that they were age appropriate, they were progressive, and aligned with our studio goals. So I was nurturing the artistic growth and also fostering a love for dance. And I do attribute that to our numbers that we were able to hold. Our continual retention rate still comes back to that intentional planning that we do. Okay, so that is it for number 4 of the 5 things. Now, the 5th thing is the numbers that I needed to know. And so this is another thing that I also encourage you to learn these numbers, because they are such a big part of success. The first one, first and foremost, we need to acknowledge that money plays a pivotal role in the success of any venture, right? Including your dance studio. And it's not just about making money, it's about understanding how money works, mastering it, then leveraging it to fuel your studio's growth. So there has to be a point where you get to be okay with spending money in order to make money. And that's what I mean by learning what the numbers that are important, because you will get to a point, your business will plateau if you stop reinvesting in your business with different things. You just have to make the smart decisions. And so how do you do that? By understanding your numbers. And so, for example, budgeting is just like a roadmap that then guides your financial journey. Someone once said to me, so budgets is such a businessy word, I know it's a bit gross. It'd be nice if anyone has a nicer word for that, let me know. But someone once said that budgets aren't just numbers, they represent your studio's financial strategy and priorities. And when they said that to me, I'm like, yeah, it sort of changed the way that I looked at it. Yeah, it does. It just represents my priorities and the strategy that I have to get there. So maybe you can take that on as well. Okay, the next thing in the numbers that you need to know is diverse revenue streams. Relying on just one single income source, so for many it would be just your weekly fees, it can become risky. It's really important to diversify your revenue streams to ensure stability and a resilience in your business. So whether it's through classes, performances, merchandise, or other creative avenues, having multiple sources of income can be a game changer. Now, for us at this point, when we were running the $1 Million Dance Studio, we had multiple revenue streams. So, for example, we were running parties, we were doing holiday workshops, which was super successful. I was selling my own uniforms and merchandise, so I'd gone through a lot of years of process of working out suppliers and getting them in for the best price. We were making a lot of profit on those. Shoes, I was getting my own shoes made overseas, and I was selling them within the studio. So there was that income there. Another big income earner that we have is, and we still do to this day, is hiring out our studio, to the point where we made it actually its own business, and it is an incredible source of income. So if that is something that you're in a position to do, I would highly suggest looking into it. We do actually have a package, a training package on how to do that effectively. If you want more information, just absolutely let me know. But yeah, of course, that's your diverse revenue streams. And then your other important numbers that you need to know that also will contribute to your success are your new inquiry numbers, how many you're getting, how many you're converting, and then how many you're retaining. So they're also really important numbers that I learnt how to read and navigate in order to continue the growth. Another really important thing I thought I would mention is I learned how much to spend on marketing. And so at the beginning, it was there was a lot of trial and error, obviously, and it is still evolving all the time, with the change of how we are spending on marketing. But it's important to sort of work out how that's going to work for you, and also the seasons that you are marketing in. So yeah, anyway, that is a whole topic on its own, but it's really worth working out what that is for you. Okay, building the $1 million dance studio is not just about reaching a financial milestone. It's actually about the journey itself. And I totally understand how hard that can be when it is so consuming. And I get that. But I really want you to enjoy the journey, because before you know it, you'll turn around and you've been doing it for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. And then you'll be like, what just happened? I was so stressed the whole time, I didn't actually get to enjoy it. So in summary, know the numbers that are important, because it is crucial to building a $1 million dance studio. Okay, I just want to finish by saying no journey is without its challenges. Now, whether this is from financial hurdles, unexpected crises like COVID, there's one. I believe these challenges shape the resilience, and for me, it really defined my studio success. And the other thing I want to say is that it is a continual journey. So building that $1 million dance studio is not the end, it's just the beginning. So just enjoy it. All right, quick recap. So the 5 things that I focused on when I was running my $1 million dance studio, first of all, was the vision. Second was strategic planning. Third was team building and leadership. Fourth was the dancer and parent experience. And number 5 is knowing your numbers. Okay, that is it. I hope that you are inspired by the behind the scenes journey of how I built my $1 million dance studio. And whether you are dreaming of starting your own, looking to take your existing studio to new heights, just remember that it's the determination, it's the strategic planning, as well as a commitment to excellence. Your studio can achieve remarkable success. And I look forward to hearing how it goes for you. And that's a wrap for this week's episode. I'm so grateful to have you listen each week. If you found today's episode valuable, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could take a moment to rate, 5 stars of course, and leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback empowers me to keep delivering insightful content. To ensure you never miss an episode, hit that subscribe button and be sure to follow me on Instagram @_JenDalton_ and join our private Facebook group, Dance Studio Empire. Until next time, keep dancing, keep thriving, and keep building your dance studio empire.